Hey, I'm Whitney Petty, and I'm in Thunderpussy, and I'm going to show off my gear. These are the guitars that I'm touring with at the moment. This is actually the first guitar that I ever got. My dad got it for me for Christmas. It's ancient. It's a Strat. I call it Old Reliable because it just never fucks up. It's amazing. But I'm not generally a Strat player. I'm actually more of a Les Paul player. Funny story, the last tour, I broke my Les Paul in half, had a little tanty on the stage, and apparently it takes 2 to 3 months to get your headstock glued back on, or whatever they do. And that's a really nice guitar. It's a Mike McCready signature Les Paul that Mike gave me himself, actually. It's priceless, so I feel like even more of an idiot that I snapped it in half. But this one is cool. It's really lightweight Les Paul. As you can see, it's kind of, you know, this, I don't really know, it's like a mahogany maybe? I do love mahogany guitars, so I'm gonna go with that. I'm Whitney, I don't really know how guitars work. So, you know, basically I pull it out of the case, and wherever it's at, we just crank the volume, all that stuff. We crank it up, you know, and then we shred. And my favorite strings are the free ones. Yeah, the ones that people give me. That's nice. I like that because strings are expensive, but I think these are 10s. This particular guitar is, you know, it's like, I think it's a studio Les Paul. And I don't know what that means, but I like it because it's pretty, and I like it because it has the unfinished neck. It's probably my favorite part of this guitar because the glossy thing, it kind of grabs your hand. It's annoying. It's not my favorite. Again, this is my backup Les Paul. I feel really lucky to have a backup Les Paul. But it's cool. Here, you wanted to know the details, so I'll just read the serial number. Okay, it's 180016. It's like math. I don't really want to read the whole thing. Okay, next. Tonight, this is going to be my backup guitar. For most of the tour, it's been my #1. I typically prefer the Les Paul sound because it's a little darker and a little crunchier, whereas the Stratocaster is a lot poppier. It's a lot more high-end. It's got a lot of twang to it. That's not my ideal sound, so for this one, it has a lot of range in between the pickups, which is really nice. So this guy, like, I usually play it here in this position because, you know, you're getting more of the high ends and stuff where you get the neck pickup. Here it's more of the, you know, the sort of prettier, more full sounding. And there's a lot of variation on this particular guitar in between all the settings, which is really nice. It makes it a more versatile guitar. Tonight, like I said, I'm not going to play it because I've been playing it really hard this whole tour and I cannot get it to stay in tune all of a sudden. Old Reliable over here, Strat, I never have that problem with. I had this guitar for like 16 years. I've never had that problem. I think I've had it set up once. But tonight I'm going to play it. I just put new strings on it, so we'll see if I eat my words. Maybe it's going to go out of tune. But this guitar also has, you know, it's a Strat, so you get a lot of variation here, which is nice. And typically I just kind of leave this one in the shred position, as I like to call it. You know, guitar players know what I'm talking about. I got some special knobs on here. One of them sheared off, but it's fine because, you know, whoever really, I don't need to fuck with that. Just keep that one cranked. Basically, these are from a Fun Machine, which is an organ that my grandpa had. And I just thought they were cool. So this one says drum volume, which is good. And this one says fun bass, pull to cancel. But probably if you pull it, it's just going to fall off, so we're not going to pull it. And this here is from a ring that I got. It's a little photo of James Dean, just because he's the coolest dude ever, so it makes me feel cool. And then on the back here, this used to be a photo of a man named Dent Meyer who lives in Marietta, Georgia, where I'm from. And it used to be him dressed as a member of the Taliban holding an air rifle. This guy is crazy. He has a Civil War museum. I stole this from his... He was giving me a tour of his museum. I was like writing a paper on him in college, and I was like, that's fucked up, I'm taking it. And for some reason, when I was really stoned, I thought, why don't I glue this to my guitar and make it look cool? And that's what I did. And now his face is gone, so now it's even creepier. But I basically call this guitar Dent because Dent's on the back. Also, I gotta give a shout out to Copper Piece. really cool straps. They're made by a beautiful woman in Seattle, and just it's so comfortable. Once these get broken in, you just can't beat them for comfort and style. I mean, it's sequin. What are you gonna do? But that's it. That's my Strat. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna move to my pedal board, which I'm really excited that I just finally got the actual, I had the Voodoo Lab pedal power, the Pedal 2 Plus that has the, what do you call it, the courtesy outlet on it. And I finally got the mount to actually mount it so I don't have to duct tape it under anymore. I feel like a real musician. I highly recommend spending the $5 or whatever it is to get the damn mount. And I also drilled a hole in my floor while I was putting it together, but it's cool, whatever. Worth it, totally worth it. But speaking of the power, the reason I have to have the courtesy outlet is because of this pedal, which is definitely my favorite pedal. It's the Electro Harmonics Black Finger compressor, and you can see here it actually has little power tubes. They're like little preamp tubes built into the pedal. But this thing is basically, I mean, if you're not familiar with compression, you can do a lot with it. I basically use it as like a clean gain, which I know is a contradiction, but it's a really nice boost. It just gives a little gravel to the boost, and it's a really unique sound. I really love it. I actually kind of have 3 or maybe 4 gains. I've got the EP boost, which is just a classic simple pedal that I think everybody should have if you play guitar. I mean, it's great just to get a little boost. I actually, back home in Seattle, I play through an old 70s Marshall Club and Country combo, the 4140, which is a great amp, but I find that I just leave this on all the time, actually. And it just gives it a little bit more body in the gain when I'm using the sort of driven channel. I love that. This is the Rat, the Co-Pro, the 1986, which is important because it's got the chip in it. I don't know what the chip means, but I know that it made it $120 or $229. I left the price tag on because I thought it was crazy that it cost that much for a freaking distortion pedal, but it's classic. This is probably my second favorite pedal. This thing's made out of cast iron. It makes my pedal board extremely heavy, but it's totally worthwhile. It's the Double Beat Wah, the AD50, made by Roland. It has 3 different settings, and you can see it's got the little shape of the actual sound wave on it. I don't really know what that means. It's like this one's spiky sounding, that one's square. I don't know, but it's good. I like that one. It's cool. This thing just rips when you turn the fuzz on. Like, it's one of those things, it doesn't have a light on it, but like, you know if it's on, because if it's on, everybody's like, oh God, play a note, please, because it just sounds like crazy feedback and distortion. But the wah on this thing is super cool. It's just loud and awesome, and I just love it. This thing just totally rips. This is my new favorite pedal company. They're called Earthquaker, and they're out of Akron, Ohio. Julie is the woman that owns that company. I met her in NAMM a few years ago. Just amazing people and amazing company. I'm just obsessed with this pedal. This is the Afterneath pedal. It has a wizard on it, so what else do you need to know about that? Like, it's got a wizard, and like, I want to be a wizard, so we're good. But it's just a crazy delay. This is a reverb delay, which is fun. And it actually has, you can actually put a, what would you call it? Like a volume pedal. Like, you can control it. You can control the amount. Why can't I think of what it's called? I know that I don't have one. Oh, an expression pedal. Should be really cool. I should look into that. But it's got 2 different channels of reverb. You can do kind of this, you can have either or both, which is really cool. It gets really trippy up here, and you can actually affect it. You can sort of bend down, and I guess you could do this with your expression pedal if you had it instead of bending down, but you can send these repeats into outer space, and this thing will just feed back in this crazy loop whatever you send through it. So it's really trippy and fun. And besides that, I mean, the MXR Phase 90 classic. I feel like every pedal board should have one. And this is my line 6 total like schmuck bottom of the barrel wireless rig. And I really hope one day that I can get one of those cool rack mounted ones, and then everything will be wireless, and Molly will be wireless, and we'll all be wireless. So if anybody's out there and they want to like sponsor us and give us one of those things, that'd be great, because those are really expensive. And then we've got the Polytune, which Leah just bought me before we left, because we both had really shitty tuners that didn't match. So I think it's important for you to have the same tuner as everybody in your band that has something that needs a tuner, so that it sounds good together. So that's what we did, because we're coming up in the world. That's cool. I like to show you my most important piece of equipment that I always travel with. Okay, this is really important. Now this is called the Sham Bomb, okay? Now, this makes you play better. I know you think that this is important. This is what you really need if you want to shred, okay? It's got the Thunderpussy logo on one side. That's good, get a close up with that. That Champy, the elephant. Now I'm gonna demonstrate. I don't have any champagne because they didn't fulfill our rider, but whatever, it's fine. I've got some cider. It's basically the same thing. You pour it in. That's good. Just about right there. And then I'm just gonna say, pinkies up, folks. Keep shredding.